Welcome to Get to Know Your Alder. I am Joe Bachman. With me is new District 2 Alder, Dean Veneman. How are you doing today?
Good. How are you, Joe?
Very, very good. So we just want to ask you a series of questions and basically have the residents get to know you. Pretty
Great.
simple.
Sounds
So first things first, about that coin toss. What was that process like for you to have that decided by a coin toss? And just tell me about that.
Well, it was interesting. I wasn't there. Neither was Bud. But I got a call actually from Shane later that night and found out that I said, first of all, when I saw it was Shane calling, I said, if you're calling, maybe you're the new mayor. And I was told he was. And,
correct.
And I found out. And so it was interesting. And I found out along the way it also is not that uncommon, apparently. So.
Yeah, it is pretty standard. It's just, what was your first reaction on
that?
It was just like, oh, it's literally a dead tie.
Yeah, it was surprising to me. But one thing I will say, during the recount process, I was really impressed at you can be very confident in the election system. They counted every ballot. We were there for about 6 hours during the recount. They looked through everything. It was interesting. It was a good learning experience.
Very good, very good. So I guess just give us a brief intro. Tell us about yourself, your background, anything that you're bringing into this position that you would like the public to know.
Okay. Well, I was born and raised in Port Edwards, and after a number of years outside of living out a number of places, I moved back about 2005. I moved back to the area. I spent a lot of time in the paper industry, so I have that in my blood. And I've been a small business owner for a number of years, and I've always been passionate about the area.
Very cool. And so why, I guess you've said this before, but why did you run for Alder? What is it in you that made you want to take this extra responsibility on, and already I'm sure a busy life?
Yeah, I appreciate it. Well, I think the city needs to be run like a business, and I have a lot of small business experience, so that was part of it. But probably the main thing is I'm concerned about the methamphetamine and opiate epidemic in the community. And I'm also some of the neighborhoods, a little beautification and some of that. So I'm looking forward to bringing that back and trying to make it a more family-friendly community.
Sure. And do you have any ideas for beautification, the direction that you would like to see it go in, or anything you would want to contribute to that?
It seems like there's a number of areas that excessive cars parked in the driveways, things of that nature, some rundown things. I know it's going to be tough to especially coming out of the COVID-19, finances being what they are, so do the best we can, but in ways the city can help to try to alleviate some of that situation.
Sure. And speaking of COVID, and we're in 2020, do you have any expectations of just city government in general going forward, stuff that you'd like to see?
Well, it is going to be really interesting to see how it comes out and how long it's been from now. Well, I can tell you from my own business experience right now, I'm in promotional products and marketing, and my business is really event-based, and so most of my clients, their events are canceled. So my business is pretty dead right now, and hopefully when things come back, I think the economy will bounce back, and I think we have the wherewithal in this community and the can-do attitude. We've been through some tough times before with paper company closures, things of that nature. So I think we can come back from it pretty strong, but it'll be interesting to see what happens.
So tell me about that background in the events. How do you think that will translate to your position as Alderperson, just going forward in all aspects of the job?
You mean in terms of my business losing business because of the...
Just your business in general, like as far as what you do, on a daily basis for your business. How do you think that'll translate to?
Well, I think it translates a lot. I do a lot of marketing for businesses and help them move their branding forward, and I think that's one of the things. If you drug-free, beautified area, help branding that. I think the marketability and making awareness is something that I can probably be pretty helpful in. Yeah. I don't know how much one person can do, but I think in terms of bringing awareness and to certain things that need to be taken care of, I think that's something I can bring to the community.
well, you never know. So
Yeah.
one person can do a lot of things. So I know it's pretty early, but so far, what do you like about your position? I know you've been to one council meeting, I believe. So far, how does it feel?
Oh, it's great. I really enjoyed it. The first council meeting, I was obviously a big listener at that point, and I'm learning the process. But I've always been, although this is my first endeavor into public office of any type, I've always been very interested in government. So I liked it so far. Everybody at City Hall, working with the clerk, like I said, the recount process was really interesting. So I've had an opportunity to meet a lot of people in the employed by the city, and I'm real impressed with what I've met so far. So.
Very cool, very cool. Just a few personal questions. So what do you like to do on your personal time? How do you venture out in Wisconsin Rapids if you're not an Alder, if you're, or not even a business owner for that matter?
Well, I like the fact that it's getting warm out again. So I really, one of my favorite things is the river. I do a lot of kayaking, fishing, spend a lot of time in the yard, gardening, landscaping. I like to be outside.
Do you ever venture out to the events as far as Cranberry Blossom Fest and Lunch by the River and all that?
Yep, absolutely. Go to Lunch by the River pretty regularly. Go to as many Raptors games as possible. Yep. I'm a huge sports fan, so I think, and I'm looking forward to the aquatic center and that whole area being a big draw to the community. So I'm really looking forward to that, spending time outside in that regard too.
Very cool. So, off the cuff, what are some of your favorite places in Wisconsin Rapids, as far as not just rivers, but even places to eat, certain businesses, things that you really enjoy about the community in that sense, just if you had to pick out some?
Always been real passionate about the Lake Air restaurant to eat. Good friends there, Kathy and Chuck. I've known them for years. I love to go there. Actually go to fish fry at Danny K's a lot. We do a lot of fish fries, Holly and I do. In terms of, like I said, the Rafters is big to me, and I do like to spend time at the Lunch by the River. Do a lot of chamber events as well, a lot of networking events. So I'm involved in the Leads group. So I do like to spend a lot of time networking and meeting other businesses.
Very good, very good. And just going back to, you discussed about tackling the methamphetamine, you could call it a crisis. It's still been an ongoing crisis for many years now.
Yeah.
So I know you have probably a list of things you want to accomplish as District 2 Alder, but especially that, would that be one of your top priorities? And if so, do you have sort of a plan in place or just a direction to take to start addressing that?
Yeah, I do actually. My plan is to spend a lot of time with law enforcement and healthcare providers, and working with social workers and getting to know people about helping get people in treatment that need to be in treatment, and then, quite frankly, the people that are putting them in treatment, handling that in a proper manner as well.
Exactly.
We need to. I know there's an awful lot of police stops, particularly in my district, that are coming 3 and 4 times to the same house and that kind of thing. So we need to curtail that, and we need to work on that. So I'm going to spend a lot of time working with the police and as well as the sheriff's department, and doing the best I can to get to know how to address that.
Very cool. And are you on any specific councils, or do you want to like there are special committees within the city, or do you want to be on any committees as far as the beautification committee or finance and resources, stuff like that?
Well, I'm actually on Public Works.
Okay.
That's what I was assigned to, and I'd like, and I intend to go to Parks and Rec meetings as well, and sit in on as many things as possible just to get to learn government in general, coming from the private sector.
Yeah. Well, do you have any last words you want to send out to the public, and just tell them, hey, I'm your new District 2 Alder. Here's what to expect from me.
Well, I appreciate it, and I do appreciate the support that I received. And it was interesting during the campaign, without the last month or so not being able to be in touch with people, without being able to go door to door. So I do appreciate the support that I did receive, and I appreciate also as well, thank Vern Brzezinski for his service for many years in the city as well, and I have talked to him several times, so I'm looking forward to tapping into his knowledge as well. So thank you for that.
Awesome. Well, thank you for joining us. I appreciate it. So, Dean Veneman, thank you, and we'll see you next time.